Joining us now for more on the war is advisor to the Ukraine Defense Secretary, Yuriy. Yuriy, thanks so much for joining us. Talk to us about what the latest news is out of Ukraine.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Indeed, it's been 14 months of this aggressive war against our country. It's a genocidal war. It's a war which is led by someone who has an international criminal arrest warrant against him for committing crimes against humanity, for abducting children.
Right.
But it's a war in which we, as a nation, Ukraine, have become stronger and our enemy has become weaker. And this is so because we are supported by our allies. So I would like to take this opportunity to once again thank the American people, the American taxpayers, the American government, the Senate, the congressmen, all of them for supporting Ukraine, because this support is very, very important for us.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you saying that. I know there's a lot of people at home that appreciate hearing that as well, because America has been the biggest supporter of the war effort for Ukraine, and it will remain so. So you advise the president of Ukraine on military matters. Is that accurate?
I'm the advisor of the Minister of Defense, Alexei Reznikov.
Okay, but you've been in meetings with President Zelensky?
Well, yes, on and off, yes.
Okay. Tell us about this counteroffensive. I think when we hear counteroffensive, we think, World War II, there's going to be tanks, rushing across the battlefield. It's not quite like that in Ukraine, is it? Particularly because of how rainy it is there right now and how difficult this would be to actually carry out. Take us through what Ukraine is trying to do to take back all that land that Russia has seized in the Donbass region.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, our military objective remains unchanged. We need to liberate all of our territories, and we need to reinstate our territorial integrity within the internationally recognized borders. So that includes, of course, Crimea, which was illegally annexed back in 2014. So right now, there is a number of factors which our military have to take into account when planning further military operations. Certain things are beginning already to happen along the front lines, but it is important for everybody to understand that the counteroffensive, it's not an event that will begin at the blow of the whistle. It's a very complex military operation, and a lot of factors are taken into account, but the main thing is that we need to continue to receive more weapons, and in particular right now, as you probably know, we are advocating for, and we are asking our allies to provide Ukraine with modern fighter jets, with F16s, because our allies have about 4,000 of them.
Tricky, by the way. That's been a conversation for a long time. I just want to jump in. Back to Crimea.
Yeah.
So Russia seized Crimea 2014. Why try to take back Crimea right now when you're already strapped for weapons? Why not just focus on the eastern Donbass region?
Well, because we have seen that, if you appease an aggressor, it doesn't lead to peace, never. This is what happened in 2014. When Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, the world watched and nothing happened. So this is why we have this war on our hands today. So we understand that for us, for Europe, for the world, this is the freedom war for us, right? This is not just a territorial war. This is the war we are fighting for our shared values. But in that war for shared values, in that freedom war, Crimea is a key, because if we allow Russia to continue to occupy Crimea, there will be no peace in the region, there will be no stability. It will be a trigger that will at any time in the future explode again. So we have to take it back because it's ours. It's internationally recognized territory of Ukraine.
But this counteroffensive, could that give Russia the green light to ratchet up their attacks on key Ukrainian cities?
Well, what we have seen in the last 14 months is that Russia is not the second largest superpower. Russia is a paper tiger. Look, for the last 7 months, they were unable to take control of even a fairly small city, Bakhmut, right? It's a very fierce battle in Bakhmut. It's a World War I trench warfare, right? But Russians are taking staggering losses, and they cannot take the city the size of one block of flats in New York.
Right.
I mean, how can we talk about Russia's military might if everything they've shown on the battlefield is complete impotence?
Yeah. All right. Well, Yuriy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll, of course, continue to spotlight this story. Thank you.